What's up, y'all? Glad everybody made it back. I know I'm a little bit tardy on this one. Should have put this episode out last week, but I took a little vacation to the beach for the Softball World Series, which, as any of you sports families know, I didn't spend any time at the beach. I spent my entire time getting up at 6 a.m. for warm-ups so I could go and sweat my butt off sitting at a softball field. But could be a lot of worse things. Supporting my daughter and what she does is, I guess, is where I want to be, sweating my butt off at the field. Nonetheless, still got tons of content. Should have had it out last week. Sorry about that. But let's get on it right now. All right, so here's what we got left. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to make one charge pipe. You saw me tack it together with my MIG. Ideally, I would love to just fuse this together with TIG, but I sold my TIG machine a couple years ago, and MIG is what I've got. I can get it done with this. It's a little bit more pain in the butt, and it doesn't come out quite as pretty, but who really gives a shit? As long as it's welded up good, it's strong, it functions, I'll be happy with it. So I'm gonna stick this together right here, weld her up, keep it moving. Well, there you have it. She's all welded. It's nice and smoky in here. Not the prettiest of welds, but it is welded together very good. I'm going to come back over and just kind of clean it up a little bit with a grinder. I'm not going to go crazy because it's just a charge pipe, and this is not a twin turbo, UGR Lambo. This is a old work truck. So I'll go over it, clean it up a little bit. I think I'm probably going to have to take the dryer off the truck to get it on because it's not going to slide back through that little hole. I don't know. I'm going to wait, let this thing cool. I'll come back, grind it, get it cleaned up. I'm going to try to put it on that way, but I don't think it'll fit. But I guess I'm going to walk off for a few minutes, which will be literally like that for you. Let this thing cool, and I'll come back and grind it. So. So check this bad boy out. That's our new tube with a fresh coat of Rust-Oleum. Now I've got the boot down here on the bottom, and I'm hoping that maybe some type of way I can finagle this thing through this tiny hole, and it'll go on without me having to remove a bunch of hard parts. So let's see how well this works out. Ooh, hey, look here. Looking promising. Aha! Shit, I think this will work. Something standing on here so I can get up over top. I get stabbed by that hood hinge. It's like we're right there. Of course it won't. It's just tight enough. The stupid thing's just tight enough, won't let it slide on. Now, see if we can get it to rotate. Oh, heck yeah, man. Get this lid together, I'll rotate the camera in just a minute so you can see it. It is fitting together very, very nicely. Shoot yeah, buddy. It's in there. It's not hitting anything or anything. That, my friends, is awesome. Let me give you a quick look here. Woohoo! Yeah, see her all kind of fished in through there. All black, nice and stealthy. So, next problem. All right, well, we got one end of that project done, one more door closed. I do have to take the charge pipe back off because I forgot to put the clamp on the bottom end of it where it goes into the intercooler. Not a big deal though. So next thing up is we got to come up with some type of intake for this thing. Basically going to be like a DIY cold air kit, I guess. I've got a piece of the factory intake that I took off. This is the inlet that goes on the turbo. This bolts to a bracket on the motor right here, and then not real sure what I'm going to do right here just yet. It's 4-inch. I've got a filter that's a 4-inch outlet. I mean, I guess technically I could stick that on right there. I don't know how well that would actually work. I don't know. We'll find out in a few minutes, I guess. I've got some 4-inch exhaust tube over here on the floor. I could use that to extend it out. What I would like to do would be to extend it over here on top of this fender, kind of get it out of the way. Maybe I'll just make me a little mount that mounts to that inner fender there. And in a perfect world, that would work. Once I get this bolted on, we're also going to go ahead and put the other charge tube on that goes to the intercooler. I shouldn't have to modify it. The stock pipe should go on because we haven't changed anything as far as that goes. So that should just be a plug and play type deal. So next up is I'm going to get going on the, actually, I'm going to put that clamp on. Then when we come back, we're going to start working on our intake. All right, so here we go. Oh boy. I don't remember how this thing goes on here, so let's see if it'll slide on maybe. I couldn't find the clamp that came off of it, so I rounded up a random hose clamp. All right. All right, looks like that might be how it's supposed to be. Well, I don't know if this is the intake that's supposed to be on here or not, because it's supposed to line up with this bracket right here, but it most certainly is not lining up with that bracket right there. Huh. Then I got this hose that goes in the bottom. Oh. All right, so I don't know if this is a EGR or what, but it looks like maybe I've got that on backwards. And then I don't know about this thing right here. I mean, that's on there, right? But this is certainly not going to attach to it. So I'm not sure where I went wrong with that. I don't know. Was it? I mean, I guess it was attached. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the old videos when I took this apart and see if this was even attached to this bracket when I got the truck, because there's a good chance that it wasn't. There was a lot of stuff that had already been kind of tampered with before I got it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go check that video, and then I guess I'm going to come back and I'm going to move over that EGR valve or whatever the hell that thing is. So I'm going to go back and look at some video and then we'll come back. Okay, so I have a plan. So right here on top of the valve cover, you've got the crankcase vent. So I called my homeboy Radar, the guy that knows everything about diesel trucks, because I was a little bit stumped, because basically you had this piece right here and had that other metal piece that went in it right here. So it came out, the crankcase vent was supposed to go into the bottom of it. Well, I got to looking at it. This is a 4-inch tube right here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the crankcase vent off, turn it around, because basically any unburned oil and fumes and pressure and just whatever crap like that, it pretty much sucks it up into the intake pipe. shoots it back through the turbo, which is just shooting more garbage and oil through your turbo, through your motor and all that type of stuff, which I can't imagine is very good for it. So what he does, we're going to turn that crankcase vent around. We're going to run a hose down. He's got a fitting that goes in the exhaust pipe, stick it in the exhaust pipe, just run it right out with the rest of the exhaust. So that brings us back to the intake. So I took that piece that was in here, I took it out. I'm going to bolt this onto the turbo. I'm going to get some of my leftover universal exhaust pipes from that kit that I put on here that's laid over there on the floor. I'm going to get that. I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to try to see if I can find the right amount of pieces to bring it over and kind of turn it so that I can hard mount it to this inner wheelhouse right here. Then I'll also make a bracket that will mount it to this bracket right here so it'll be good and sturdy. So that's my plan. So let's see how all this works out. Hopefully exactly like I planned, but we shall see. Four-inch piping and see how we're going to work this out. So I'm going to take a look at this in the floor and we'll see if we can find a couple of bends or something to make this thing do what I want. Yeah, buddy. Well, it goes without saying, I am super happy with that. Looks like we're going to get it done for the price of this air filter right here, which I got from O'Reilly's for $43. So, it's Spectre. I don't know anything about the brand. I checked it. It's rated pretty good. It comes pre-oiled. You can clean it and re-oil it. It comes pre-oiled and ready to go. So now all I got to do is I've got it sitting, everything's sitting the way that I want. So I'm gonna make a bracket that's gonna come off of this side and the pipe and go down and bolt to the, I'll put a rib nut in this, golly, whacking the inner fender. Then I'm definitely gonna make another bracket that will come off and bolt to this bracket right here. That way it'll hold it nice and steady. I may put a second bracket that runs down right here. That way it won't go anywhere. It's clear of the master cylinder, not by a lot, but it is clear of it. So next up, that's what we gotta do. We gotta make those brackets. I'll get them tacked in place here, there. Once everything's tacked in place, all the bolts are started and in there, we see that everything bolts up good, then we'll pull it back off, weld it all up, and then sand it and put some paint on it. So let's get started making some brackets. Well, there you have it. She's all the way made and welded. I came back over with a flat disc afterwards and just kind of knocked the little boogers that might have been on it off the pipe and kind of cut it to that gout or that aluminizing compound they put on it a little bit. Went back over with a piece of 180 just to smooth her out a little bit. Now I'm going to get after it with a can of Rust-Oleum and put a nice heavy coat, one wet coat of Rusto on this bad boy, and then let her dry up overnight. Should be ready to stick on there permanently. I am stoked. This thing came out fantastic for the price of what I spent, $42.99 plus tax for that cool looking blue air filter. So I'm pretty pumped. So I'm gonna go paint this dude now. Come with me. Boy howdy, look at that guy. So we dreamed it up, we laid it out, we fabbed it up. It's on there, man. All that's left now is for that dude to be sucking small children off the sidewalk. I am super happy with how that turned out. Yep. Now we can check another one off the list and get started on the next thing. So now I got this raggedy looking piece of garbage right here. This is the upper charge pipe for the intercooler. So I'm going to take all this raggedy looking wrapping off of it and get all the glue and whatever else is underneath there all off of it and clean it up. It should fit just fine. I haven't changed anything from where the intercooler mounts in relation to the engine. So should just have to get that off there, clean it all off, throw a coat of black paint on it, and throw it on. So let's see what all this is going to take to get done. Well, you want to know something that's absolutely maddening is when you bust your butt and you work like, you shoot a video where you work for like, well, I don't know, an hour and a half cleaning all the heat shielding and the glue residue and the foam and all the other crap off of your charge pipe. And then you get it all sanded and cleaned up and nice, and then you get ready to go paint it when you're done, and you realize that somewhere in the middle of all that, your phone maxed out on storage, and you didn't really record anything. So unfortunately, you got to see the first little bit of it, and here we are, because that's what happened to me, obviously. But as you can see, turned out pretty cool looking. It was a pain in the butt, but it was worth it because it looks much nicer than it did look. I took the boots off of it. I just washed them with some Dawn in the sink and cleaned them up. So we're gonna throw this bad boy on now. So let's get this over to the truck. By the way, I didn't do anything special with the clamps. I just wiped them off. They're cleaner than they were. I don't know that they're going to be anything special, but they should be cleaner than they were nonetheless. And no, I don't remember which one came off of which. I'm just going to try to put them on here where they'll function and work. Because that's all I really care about is functionality. I mean, it is nice to look cool. However, function is more important to me. Alright, so we've got that little ridge inside there. That's the side that's going to go on the pipe. So go ahead and actually I'm going to put this one on the pipe. And I don't really remember how this thing goes. It's going to go like that. I'm just going to snug this one up for right now. That way it won't just go sliding down my pipe as soon as I stick it on. Because I do have bad OCD, and like these two clamps over here, I will have so that I can get right to them and go straight down. I will have these two up here on the same side as well, just for that reason. Whatever side that I may decide that that's going to be. Let me find another clamp here. Man, that thing rides really close to that belt right there. I guess it'll be alright. That's how Ford designed it, not me. So I don't see how that would have not been touching that with that old stuff on there, but it's on there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So Everything looks nice right through there, you see. Man, look how close that is right there. I mean, it's got plenty of room, but I mean, it's still close. But there we go. That looks pretty sweet. Well, that turned out even better than even I could have imagined. Using some scraps I had laying on the floor and a $43 air filter from O'Reilly's. I don't think it gets much better than that. So, and I would imagine that would work on a lot of 7.3s, you know, at the very least the same approach. Anyhow, and you can probably go to any local muffler shop and just grab a couple of bins they've got on the floor for little or nothing and make that. Both charge pipes turned out great. Cannot wait to hear this thing breathing through all that apparatus we got built on there. For those of you that have been here and watched the whole thing, stay till the end, I really appreciate it. I try hard to edit the content so that you stay interested enough to get to this point. So as always, got any questions or comments, throw them down there. I like when somebody comments, lets me know if they like it or not. Lets me know somebody's out there. I'm not just talking to this phone, this camera. As always, throw me a like, a subscription, come back, watch all the rest. Got several videos to come, I would say. Still got a lot of content stockpiled. I wish I could show you where the truck is right now. It's pretty awesome. Come back. We'll see you in 49.